Family is Providence. Thanks for tuning in. I think the culture now is engaging in a bit of buyer's remorse. Most people bought into this idea that Kendrick was the number one guy. He was hailed as the victor in the beef versus Drake. I never believed that for 1 second, but that's the cultural consensus. We're told that Kendrick was now going to lead us into a new dot era in which it will be a renaissance of hip hop. The real is back. Not that watered down light-skinned Canadian garbage that we've been listening to for the past 15 years. The real is back. The West Coast is back. Kendrick is gonna really bring hip hop back to its roots. Well, if those roots mean that hip hop is now underground and no one's listening to it or barely mainstream, then I guess Kendrick succeeded in his mission, because Kirko is reporting hip hop has now gone 9 straight months without a top 10 hit on the Billboard Hot 100. The last hip hop track to make it into the top 10 was Drake's "What Did I Miss" in July 2025. Now, I've already seen Kendrick fans saying that's not true, Luther was in there. The point is that Luther was already a top 10 hit. Okay, the last song that wasn't already a top 10 hit to make it into the Billboard was Drake's "What Did I Miss?" And since then, there hasn't been a rapper with a song that has broken into the top 10. And so the industry rode against Drake. Everybody wanted to see him up out of here. They were tired of his reign. They were tired of seeing him be number one and all that. But the one problem with their plan was that they didn't have a replacement for Drake. See, and if you're going to get rid of the king, who are you going to crown to actually be the king? That's where they did not think through this little coup d'etat that they planned to get rid of Drake. You got to find somebody to replace him. Where is the hits going to come from? You guys, it was never going to come from Kendrick, because Kendrick really has no desire to continue to feed the people. Kendrick, again, is like fine dining. Maybe you show up a couple times on special occasions to eat at a really nice fancy restaurant, but you're not going to eat there 24/7. That just is what it is. Kendrick's going to pop up every 2 to 3 years with a masterpiece, but he's not going to feed you day to day, month to month. Drake, while he's perfectly capable of masterpieces, but for the sake of the analogy, is like your favorite restaurant. Good food, and you eat there way more often than a fancy 5-star restaurant. And now people are going to realize, look, supporting Kendrick was nice, but I need my meals. Where's the food at? Who's going to feed us? We're starving. And you kick the boy out and you don't have a replacement for him. And now everybody's realizing maybe this wasn't such a good idea. I am now of the opinion that this battle that everyone claims Drake lost will only serve to heighten his legacy even more in the long run. I believe now the culture has come to the realization we need Drake. We thought we could survive without him, but we need him. And now, in his absence, the fact that you guys tried to get him out of here, you come to the realization this is really boring. This whole thing is boring without Drake. I'm sorry. It's corny. It's boring. I know you guys like to make fun of Drake. He's the butt of many jokes on the internet. He's memed into the next century, but he's fun. He makes this thing interesting. Kendrick, it doesn't. It just is what it is. It is what it is. And so now I think in light of this battle, Drake's stardom is even more popping. His streaming numbers have been going through the roof. His monthly listeners on Spotify has been rising. The man hasn't dropped a song in months. He's been behind closed doors grinding out this album. And then when Iceman finally drops, the anticipation will be at an all-time high. If Drake really has genuine hits on that album, it's going to the stratosphere, because the people are starving, and they always appreciate the meal the most when you're starving. When you've been hungry for a long time and that that meal hits, oh, that's when you really appreciate it. See, if you full and you eat, it's like, okay, you know, all right, it's cool, it tastes good, but whatever. But when you've been starving and you eat, oh, your appreciation is at an all-time high. And the culture has been starving for some hits. And so when Iceman drops, I anticipate that thing's probably doing minimum 500K first week. If the music is good, and I'm relatively certain the music will be good. Drake is motivated. He's got a point to prove. He's going to show people he's always been the number one guy, and all these so-called other number ones that you said was number one ain't that. And if the food is well prepared and it tastes good, it's going through the roof. And Drake will clearly and unequivocally reclaim his throne at the top of hip hop. And he's always been there, but the culture was deceived for a little bit. Well, the deception has now been taken away. And we know who the guy is. Iceman, when it drops, we're in for a treat. So respect the king, man, and quit with all this Drake done nonsense. At the end of the day, now more than ever, we realize we need him. This has been Providence. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, man. Do you think that Drake is necessary? Do you think I'm cool? I'm glad everything's dead. This is what I want. I want hip hop to die. I'm riding with Kendrick. I love the Drought era where we ain't got no Billboard hits. This is great. If that's your position, let me know in the comments, man. It's Providence. I'll see you guys in the next video.